I want to take a very short time to talk about why the work at Respond Crisis Translation is so important to me personally and to our people. So when I say our people, so my name is Timnit, and it means wish in Tigrinya. Has anybody heard of the word Tigrinya? Does anybody? Oh, okay. So, Tigrinya is a language spoken in Ertra, which is, I'm of Eritrean descent, and the northern Ethiopian region of Tigray. Have you all heard of Tigray? Some more and more people are probably hearing about Tigray now because there was a genocide of epic proportions, an ongoing genocide that killed 1 million people, more than 300,000 women being victims of rape as a weapon of war. And so I'm of Eritrean descent, and we have the displeasure of having a genocidal government that commits genocide against its own people and the neighboring regions of Tigray. So what happens is that, I was also an asylee. I received political asylum in the US, but I was fluent in English when I came. I had that privilege, so I didn't need translators or anything like that. But what happens to other Eritreans, we also happen to have one of the largest immigration rates in the world. I think in 2016, Eritreans only came second to Syrians in terms of the number of applications in Europe, for instance, and all of the things you hear about, human trafficking, drowning in the Mediterranean, etc. A lot of our people go through this. And so what happens is that when these asylum seekers come, so we have a long arm. There is a long arm of the Eritrean government. And one of the ways in which this long arm is weaponized is language. So these asylum seekers come, and the long arm has lots of different spies, and some of them are in the form of translators when you're seeking asylum. And so what happens is when you're telling your story about your harrowing story about what you're going through, etc., these translators will say, oh, we know that your parents are back home. You don't want to tell that story, right? So they'll start weaponizing or messing up their asylum claims. So imagine how important it is that we have organizations like Respond Crisis Translation who have to vet all of these translators, who have to support all of these translators, pay them, right? Because we're not into, free labor and exploitation. So to me, this is really personal for me because we have a lot of refugees in our community. And the second thing I wanted to say is just like Ariel, I had the pleasure of being fired by Google in 2020. And, or the displeasure of being fired by Google. And at the center of there was a lot of issues. I was making a lot of noise, but at the center of the dispute was this paper I had written about what are called large language models. And so these are, we're not going to talk about large language models, but this is the underlying technology in a lot of currently quote-unquote AI systems like ChatGPT or whatever. And this is also the underlying system used in a lot of automated machine translation tools, right? So sometimes they tell us you can replace humans with these things, but obviously you can't. And so one of the examples that we gave in our paper was that a Palestinian man woke up and wrote "Good morning," and it was translated on Facebook to attack them. So you take "Good morning" and your automated machine translation tool translated to attack them. I believe this was in 2017. He was arrested, but thankfully later released. But think about the kind of consequences that you would have for this kind of mistranslation. So I just wanted to say, let's support them. Let's support Respond Crisis Translation. I want to hear some of your music, so I'm not going to say. I want to get back to the music. And so thank you so much. And obviously, free Palestine always. Thank you.